This is it. First episode, is it? Is it the...
Yeah,
Are
I
we gonna
guess.
call this the first episode? Like,
Season premiere?
season premiere.
Episode 1 of Season 1?
Episode 1 of season 2?
Season 2.
I mean, there's co-op conundrum, but now we do tag team live stream.
Yeah, let's go with Season 2.
Each season we just change the name.
Yeah, and we just record it a different way. Like, Season 3 will be video, and then Season 4 will do, like, fucking telegraph machines or something.
Right on.
Morse code.
Alright.
This episode is brought to you by Braille.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we're gonna have to eventually get to the point where we're not even speaking, we're just doing sign language.
Oh, God. That'd be a great episode.
Alright, now my live stream is not up. Okay, no it is. Right, fuck it. Yeah,
Fuck it.
I had to mute it. Like, just as I was saying that, I decided to fucking pop with the Mortal Kombat X commercial.
Oh.
Which, alright, hold on.
Go ahead.
Here's a little bit of a fucking... I don't know if you can call it news or not for gaming, but I seen Boogie complaining about the microtransactions for that game. And, like, I was fine with that for the most part. You know, like, I'm kind of in the back of my mind having that same old kind of, like, if you don't like it, don't buy it kind of thought to what he was saying. But then he brings that up as an argument point, where he's like, for those that have the, if you don't like it, don't buy it, well, why have it if it's not needed? It's something on and on. Well, I'm like, I replied to him, I'm like, well, gaming's not needed. Like, movies are not needed. Music's not needed. Like, none of the stuff's needed. Like, that's a horrible, horrible fucking way to make your point if you're talking about the needs.
I just bought that game this morning, actually, and the only thing I saw for microtransactions really was characters, like character bundles and costumes.
Yeah.
Fighting games have been doing that for ages.
Right, and I gotta assume that's what he was talking about. Like, he didn't go into great detail. He was talking about, because he had like three or tweets about the whole thing, and the other ones that he mentioned were something along those lines that made me think that that's, you know, what he was talking about was buying character skins and stuff like that. But he also made mentions of like these coins or something like that.
Ah, fatality coins.
Okay.
You can get those in-game, though, from playing, but basically all it does is make you, if you don't, I guess, have the skill to hit back, left, forward, A, it just makes it so you just hit, like, A to do a fatality,
Okay.
but adds nothing to the game, really. I don't know why you would buy those.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you've already won and beat the guy, so you have to buy coins to just do a fatality to him.
It sounded like to me like how other games, like mobile games, use these kind of coins to be like, hey, you can get coins in game at this slow medium pace. I feel weird that I just named a fucking old Adam Sandler song. Or you can buy them and get it, and get it, do whatever it is with these coins faster.
Yeah, it's not those coins. It's not even a currency or anything. It's just, I think they're called fatality tokens or something.
Okay.
I was looking at those. Those are cheap as fuck, but Jesus Christ, if you can't hit an extra 2 buttons after you've already won a match, fuck. I think that's great on their part. Anybody that gives them money for that, they're geniuses.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing too. You know, like I got some other dude that was applying back about it, and at one point in time, he referred to it as rape. And I'm like, first of all, like, I am a person that makes rape jokes and stuff like that, so like him using this rape doesn't offend me or anything like that. But I I did have to point out to him how rape is forcing yourself onto someone, and putting DLC out there isn't forcing the DLC onto you. So no, it's not at all rape. Like, not even in the slightest is it the same.
And Boone just busts through the TV and starts fucking doing this. Finish your brutality, bitch.
Pat Patterson watches, jerks off. Oh man.
That seems about right. Loving his tummy and cranking one out.
Oh. So yeah, there's that. You said you just bought this, but you haven't played it yet.
No, that's it. Downloaded earlier. I got a little sidetracked playing some other games on PC.
Oh, like what?
GTA 5.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't even notice that came out. But did that just come out recently on PC?
It came out yesterday.
Oh, right on.
Game
So
opened up instead of waiting for midnight. They actually opened up at like 7 p.m.
that is odd.
And I was one of the lucky ones. There was like 5 of us playing it, and I was the only one to actually get in and not have any problems.
When you say get in without any problems, you talking about online?
Yeah. Oh, only one of the people we play with is, I'm going to finish the single player before I go online.
Oh, so who are you playing with?
Everybody from the 8th PK, people from another Arma unit.
Right on.
When I was playing tonight, I think it's Dog Company. There was about 10 of them in there, and we were just wrecking fools.
Right on.
5-star wanted level driving around, shooting from armored cars.
So, did you play it on Xbox One, or I'm
360, Xbox One, and now PC.
Wow? You bought the game 3 times?
Yes, and to me, it sounds crazy, but to me, I fucking love that game.
Like, all right, when people like you do this, I it doesn't bother me, but if you were to bitch about something like back in the day when people would complain about PS3s not coming with an HDMI cable, I would be like, fuck you, dude, you bought 3 of the same game.
Dude, I can get an HDMI cable on Amazon for like $5.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, just in general, like, when people will, like, you know, when they complain about, like, the stupidest, cheapest thing, and it's like, dude, you bought 3 of the same game, fuck off, like...
Yeah. It's hard for me to bitch about that stuff.
Oh, there's people out there that do, and it's fucking insane to me.
Well, it makes sense if you have different friends playing on all different systems. Like, some of my friends only have PCs, some of my friends only have Xbox Ones.
Right on, yeah, that's... I mean, as crazy of a thing to buy the same game on multiple things is, I mean, that is, I think, a legitimate excuse.
Yeah. I just said fuck everybody on the Xbox One and transferred my character on the PC.
Wait, what do you mean transferred?
If you're... Like how the Rockstar game started, God, when was it? Back in GTA 4, that Rockstar Social Club? If you sign up for that, you can transfer your character between systems.
I want to say I remember that with LA Noire.
I think so. That's one of the games on the list on there. And
Okay.
Not Red Dead Redemption. God, that needs to come off the PC.
Mm-hmm. That'd be nice.
They just make money hand over fist. Here, take my money.
Or they could just make a second Red Dead Redemption.
But will it be as good as the first one? We can only hope.
Yeah, I see. That's the okay. Let's talk about Red Dead Redemption for a second here. They could have made a second one called it Red Dead Revenge, and that whole thing of John Morrison's son growing up, all of that could have been the second game just spread out, you know, with more bullshit, you know, and side quests and whatever. That's what they should have done instead of having you play as you know, Jack Morrison as an adult in that game.
Yeah. Fuck that. I hated that ending.
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. I like and dislike parts of it. I mean, I guess you know, spoilers or whatever, but I mean, the game's old as shit now, but I was fine with John Morrison dying, but I didn't like that whole lead up of him hanging out with his wife and son. Like, I understand it. They're trying to put some kind of emphasis there, but it was just padding to me.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with...
See what we did there?
Yeah, and then the whole thing with Jack Morrison, you know, it was just really kind of lame. Like, it was just... I felt shoehorned in at the end there that shouldn't have been.
Man. But GTA 5? That is by far, and I'm gonna stand by this, the most beautiful PC game I've ever played.
Really?
It is fucking. I've been playing on the Xbox One where they've updated it. It still looks 3 times as better as that.
Wow.
It is fucking impressive.
I mean, it's been a long time since I played it on the PS3, but yeah, I mean, even then I was like, wow, this game looks great.
Oh, the people that I have been playing with that their last time playing it was the PS3 or the 360. They are shitting their pants. It's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, it's an upgrade from the Xbox One and PS4, but for those systems, it's probably a holy shit. This is a new game.
Right.
And the draw distance. I mean, of course, if you have an underpowered PC, you can't set that shit really high. But if you got all that shit up, that draw distance, you can see all the way across the fucking city.
Right on.
And you'll see like fucking police. You can actually go up to your crib now or your house, apartment, and watch on the TVs live police chases from the other players online.
That's pretty awesome.
And we just sit up there and sit on the couch. We're like, oh, look at this fucker trying to run from the cops. It just busts in and says, breaking news. Police chase in this area.
So, have you guys done the heists?
We haven't done the heist yet. You have to be... There's a couple people that aren't leveled up high enough. I think it's level 14 you have to be.
Oh.
But it's just... Even with all those people, it's tough getting... Because sometimes you have too many. Sometimes you don't have enough, but you need exactly 4 people to do the heist. So like this morning, there was like 10 of us. It's like, let's just do free roam shit for a while. And last night, there was only 3 of us, so...
Why can't you do 2 different heists?
Yeah, you can, but when there's 10 people there, man, you want to do shit with 10 people.
Yeah.
Just that game creates so many fucking epic moments, and that new recording system they've added just makes it 1,000 times better.
Right on.
I was flying people around in the chopper while they were sniping other players out the windows and recording the whole thing. Hovering above the military base, parachute in, steal the jet. Oh god, it's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I hated the online play of that game, like to the point where when I played it, I don't remember which. I want to say I was with Omni Gamer still, but I'm not sure. But I gave it a 5 out of 5 when I reviewed it, and then when the online actually came out, and I played it for probably about 2, maybe 3 weeks. And I was like, yeah, if this would have came out on time with the game, I would have dropped that game a star.
Have you?
But I haven't played it since it first came out, like that first month.
I would say it completely head over heels.
Yeah.
Flipped around. It is. I compare it to like an MMO now. I mean,
Right
you can
on.
get snacks. You can get a bunch of shit to get your health up. Of course, you have to deposit your money when you get it. It's like a real life simulator in a way, and the city feels like it's a real city.
Hey, because I'm wondering if like maybe people have calmed down because like when I played it, like one of the things that drove me nuts, like I was kind of fine with most of the like back and forth like team deathmatch kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was for the most part fine. It was fun, but like if you were taking it too seriously, you weren't gonna have fun. But all the side shit of like I'm walking down the street, I am now fucking ran over, or I'm walking down the street, I'm now fucking, someone did the drive by and killed me and shit like that. Like that happened all the time, and it was so fucking frustrating.
It's not as bad anymore.
Yeah.
It just depends. You'll occasionally get your one dude that wants to go around killing everybody, kind of like we've been doing. Oh, we created a crew. We've got we're a bike gang. All got motorcycles. All got our fucking cuts on our back with the same fucking logos.
Nice.
And we just roll around fucking shotgunning people as we pass them on the motorcycles, rolling in formation. It's sweet.
Can you get a baseball uniform and put it on?
I'm sure there is a baseball uniform.
Because I want to be the, oh god, I can't remember their name now, from the Warriors.
Oh god.
That was my favorite fucking gang in that movie. I don't know why.
Rolling around as a crew with like custom logos and shit, it's pretty badass. I mean, you roll up on a fucking place and some random player character dude, some random dude on the server just shows up. It's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and then like 15 guys on motorcycles show up, and they just start running. Then you hop in the game chat. You're like, that's right, bitch. This is our turf. Stay the fuck out. We're making meth here.
Yeah, see, that sounds pretty entertaining. To be able to do that. I mean, like, still to me, like, my favorite moment of the online, and probably the only good moment for me because it made me laugh, was when I was trying to, I'm not sure if it was a convenience store or a gas station. I think it was just a convenience store or a party store. And I walk in and I started holding it up. And someone drives by, does a drive-by, shoots the store, misses me, kills the fucking store clerk. I have to go around the counter, grab the fucking money, finish loading up. I hear police sirens, and then I just jet out of the store, across the street, and up the fucking mountaintop while the cops are chasing me. And I'm like, that motherfucker.
We did that to one of the guys we were playing with. He's like, yeah, swing me by the ammunition. I need to pick up some ammo. That's why he's in there. We're all waiting outside, and one dude's like, watch this. Goes in, just shoots the dude in the face. The fucking store clerk. And he's like, I can't buy ammo now, motherfucker. And the cops started coming after both of them. Just because he was in the store with him.
Oh, man, that's so horrible.
Oh, every time I bought that game, I have said it is worth $60, and it's never been worth $60 more than it has been now.
I mean, technically, for you at this point, that game is $180.
Worth $180.
That's fucking insane.
The amount of shit that just randomly happens is so great.
Right on. So is that all? Is that it for GTA 5?
Yeah, pretty much. Buy that game. Buy that game.
Yeah, I mean, one of these days I'll probably eventually pick it up on PC or something.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered, you got some extra bank, so.
Yeah.
I never. Nice.
I never went back. I mean, that's how much I hated it online. Is there was, for some reason, I don't remember why, but they were giving out $250,000 or two lump sums of like $250,000 for something on GTA 5 on PS3 and 360. And I never went online to collect that money. Like, I was like, I don't fucking care.
Oh, money goes by quick online now. Shit gets expensive. After buying an apartment, a couple cars, I started with 1.2 million, and I'm down to like $200,000.
Oh man!
But I gotta keep that money up so I can fund some heist.
It kind of sounds like it's maybe a little bit of Altus life or something in a way.
Very.
But
it's like a sim. That's what's weird about it.
I feel like it's not as detailed though, being that you can't, you're not like getting jobs and stuff like that.
For us it is, because we're in a motorcycle gang and all we do is run around shooting people like real motorcycle gangs.
Sure, but I mean because Altus life, you got people that are playing cops, you got people that are playing, medics and bankers, and this crazy amount of detail to the role playing that people put into it.
Yeah, that would be a little odd for this one. It always breaks you out when you see some guy run around like a clown outfit. Yeah, let's kill that guy.
Oh man, that dude was just trying to make his way to a fucking birthday party for an 8-year-old boy. You guys are like, fuck you, man.
And he's on our turf.
Oh man. A one-man clown fucking posse.
And we already found another rival motorcycle gang. They're posting videos on YouTube. We're sending them messages trying to fucking start a war with them.
Warriors, come out to play.
Yeah, their little YouTube video, there's like fucking 30 of them just all rolling in formation on motorcycles. It's like, yeah, we got 10. We can do it. We'll just drink a shit ton of whiskey and go driving the motorcycle drunk.
Right on.
Yep, buy it. Simple as that. Buy that game.
Alright, so what else have you been playing?
Dark Souls 2, Sins of the Scholars, Scholars of the Sins, Sin Scholar edition thing.
I think it's Sins of the Scholars.
I think so too. There's sins and there's scholars involved.
Do you think they're sinful scholars?
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Oh man, that's a conundrum.
Yeah.
Throwbacks. That game's a lot fucking harder.
Okay, yeah, so I'm kind of confused by this. Like, is it DLC or just a revamped version of the entire game?
It's all the DLC included and a revamped version of the entire game.
When you say all the DLC, then you just mean the Three Crowns DLC then, right?
There was 2 of them, I think. There was the Crown of the King, Dead King or something. And then there was another one.
As far as I know, there's 3 total for the crowns.
Oh, was there?
If I remember right, yeah.
I didn't keep too much up on that game. Because I didn't like it that much when I first played it.
Oh man, how dare you.
Oh, no, I love it.
I mean, I like Dark Souls 2, but it's too hard for me, so...
Oh.
And I can't go back and play it until I find a new cheat table.
It makes you feel so satisfied when you do it without cheating.
I don't think that's possible for me. I don't think that's...
It's possible.
No, me.
If it
No.
takes you a year to beat a fucking boss, after that year's up, you'll be like, yeah, I finally did it, and you'll be so excited.
Okay, first of
year's
all,
journey.
I don't want to take that long. Second of all, I have too short of a temper, and I can't. I don't think it's safe for me to get my blood pressure that high.
You need to watch some Twitch streams like I did then. One dude on the fucking Xbox was streaming before I went to work and was fucking punching the shit out of his coffee table. He kept saying, fucking butthole licking asshole cocksucker. Fucking punching shit. So what do? First time playing Dark Souls, huh? Fuck you.
Fucking A, man. There's someone's YouTube channel I was watching once for a playthrough of a game. Like, I think it was like Slender Man or something, but the dude kept getting so pissed and he kept punching his desk. And it's funny because the one time it cuts where he's like, motherfucker, bang, 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 and they're like, I had to fix my desk. It's just like, he's like calm as can be, but like there's just a cut there where he's just like all of a sudden he's cool and calm and collected and like, I had to fix my desk because I punched it too hard.
The game's frustrating, but I don't know, getting that pissed off, because once you realize that when you die and lose your souls, the enemies respawn, so you go back and kill the same enemies, so you're technically getting all the souls you lost back.
Mm-hmm.
But if you make it back to your body, you're getting double the souls, technically.
Wait, what? Are you talking about like if you kill everyone on the way, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is true, except for the fact that after a certain amount of times, the enemies stop respawning, and if you lose all your souls then you're just completely fucked.
Yeah.
That's where I get fucked on that game.
You can level so quick, though, in that game. It's losing a shit ton of souls ain't that big of a deal. And when they added that homeward bone shit, that kind of made it easier.
Doesn't that take you back to...
Takes you back to the nearest bonfire and you keep all your souls.
Ah, that's right.
And I guess there's an infinite one that you get if you kill that lady that levels you up, but I ain't that fucking stupid.
Yeah, fuck that. I mean, I could have done that with my one character because I was 99 on everything.
Yeah, so you didn't need to worry about going back and saving your souls.
No, I never did. I have that one picture on my Steam profile because I took that picture that showed toy box of those with that big bug-eyed motherfucking thing, and like every time I look at it, I look in the corner and it's like 256 million souls. And I'm like,
Lord.
if anyone was to fucking notice that, they would be fucking calling me out as a cheater.
Did you lose the souls when you died, or? They just stayed there.
They just stayed there. Like
Oh, shit.
even when I would buy stuff, they wouldn't go away.
Damn.
Yeah,
But you weren't able to play online though, were you?
No, I couldn't play online.
Ah.
Which I didn't want to either. I mean, that was like my thing is like I wasn't looking to cheat out other players. I just wanted to be able to beat the game in a timely fashion.
And that way you could tell her, I beat Dark Souls 2, and if they don't follow up with questions, you're like, yeah.
I was always very open about cheating on that game. Like I was never worried about like being like, yeah, I beat it. I'm a badass. Or anything like that. It's just like, yeah, I didn't beat it. that's what really sucks is I got to the end and you have to go get these certain souls before you, I assume, kill the king. And I didn't do that yet. I didn't get around to it. I stopped playing for whatever reason. And then, since then, the game had been patched and stuff like that, which meant my table was, completely useless. So, and I can't find another one.
Well, if that one was too hard for you, this one would piss you off even more.
I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm sure. If I could go into it with the patience that's needed, I could probably eventually beat it without cheating. But I just don't have that tolerance at all for it. I mean, I
learned to not care.
weird. That's a nice try, especially when games like Flow pissed me off.
That was really your first dive into play the fuck out of a Dark Souls game, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I had I never played Demon Souls. I played some of Dark Souls 1, but I got really fucking bored with that game fast. I didn't the thing about the first Dark Souls is, okay, because you gotta farm, and on top of farming, you die a lot, which means you do a lot of going back. But on top of all of that, the game constantly is bringing you to the same areas over and over again. So you got like this triple threat, like a hat trick, if you will, of going to the same areas over and over again. And I got really fucking bored of it very fast and was just kind of like, I don't want to play this anymore. And that was one thing I could say about Dark Souls 2 that I really liked is you moved on. I mean, sure, you'd go back to different areas once in a while when you needed to, but for the most part, you were just on to the next area.
I'll agree with you. I mean, I beat Dark Souls, but I got bored. I don't like the fantasy setting they went towards.
Well, you don't really care for medieval.
No, that's what I like. Because that's what Demon Souls pretty much was. Demon Souls was castles and dragons galore.
Right on.
And then they went to oh, look, you're in the Lost Forest and the Forest of the Giants, and look at all the greenery. Isn't it pretty? No, I don't give a fuck. Give me dirty-ass walls.
Yeah, that was, to me, that's, with Dark Souls, both games really is the atmosphere that it presents is very intimidating to me. Like, really in a creepy way. Like, I'm a person that playing Oblivion, I would get creeped out and scared, when I was playing by myself at nighttime with the lights off and I was going into the haunted ruins and stuff like that. And so, Dark Souls, everything's very creepy and dark and gritty. And so it's very, everywhere you go in that game, it's just constantly just the feeling of fucking ghosts and haunted shit.
Ghost goblins, oh my.
Yeah.
And the Dark Souls games, and this is going to sound like elitist, like all the assholes that play these games, they've never hit that difficulty that Demon Souls hit. It's like they seem to keep making them easier and easier.
I've noticed with Bloodborne, a lot of people are like, yep, platinum that game, and it's like, really? Not only does it feel like a lot of people have been apparently platinuming it, but it seems like quickly they've been doing it. Like, the game's only been out, I want to say, a week or two, right? I mean,
yeah,
it hasn't been out long.
It's just they keep adding little things that make it easier. Like, I guess in Bloodborne, people are saying that you can pretty much stockpile and have infinite number of those blood vials that restore your health. And I guess if you attack enemies after they hit you, you get your health back, which is forcing people to be more aggressive.
Okay.
But I was excited. I was like, man, I still want to buy a PS4 to play that game, but
I remember when I was watching the quick look, yeah, like they were talking about how like if you are killing an enemy or something, you can get your health back from it.
see, I don't.
It seems like it's a very risk reward kind of situation where it's like you don't have to do that, if you want to be a more defensive player, like like we're pretty much taught to be in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But if you really want to get that health back, you're gonna.
It just seems like they're pandering more and more to make it easier and easier for people. Which isn't a horrible thing, but it just means nothing's ever going to surpass Demon Souls for me. Because I still feel like a god of video games after beating that hundreds of times.
Right. Yeah.
Basically, new game plus 30.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, because like when they were talking about like the gaining the health thing back, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, it seems like a very drastic way to try getting your health back. Especially if you have multiple enemies on you or something like that.
And the thing that's got me intrigued about it is Bloodborne's atmosphere. It's not medieval, but it's got like that creepy ass London Jack the Ripper look to it.
Yeah. It's interesting to me, but something about that makes it less appealing to me. Like, the thing about medieval to me is you can do anything with medieval, right? I mean, you can be like, hey, it's medieval, so it's Westeros, for Game of Thrones, or it's Middle Earth for Lord of the Rings, or it's whatever it is for Dark Souls, and it's just kind of like, hey, it's medieval, whatever. But when you got Bloodborne and it has an iconic kind of London look to it, I feel like it kind of takes away from some of the appeal of it being a fake place.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I can't really explain it. I don't really have. It's not like I have a problem with it or anything, but just something about it feels like. It doesn't feel. What's the word I'm looking for?
It's
a fantasy, I guess.
See, I like that.
You like that as not fantasy?
Yeah. Because I don't like they're like 3 steps away for the Dark Souls games to adding elves and fucking dwarves. That would just drive me nuts.
Well, they don't really have anything now. I mean, everything's just a thing. I mean, like I know like a lot of like Dark Souls, the characters and stuff. I guess like it's all you nothing's really told to you. You can read stuff about everything and whatnot, but like there's no real talk about like different kind of races or anything like that, or like you got these giant knights that do this, and then you got these enemies that do that, and then you got the hollows, but like there's nothing really there to say who is what.
Dark Souls 3, you get a magic pixie that collects souls for you. Fucking Tinkerbell.
Maybe one of the classes that you can play as lets you turn into Tinkerbell.
Fucking hell.
Oh, man.
I hate it already.
Nope, I'm all about it. Imagine this, but like when you do, when you turn really small, like everything else turns huge. Like, so if you're in front of like the eyes of the first boss and you turn really small, one of the eyes is just like gigantic on your screen, and you just poke at it.
Poke it in the eyeball?
Yeah. And it's like, oh shit. Alright, time out.
Time out, get the Visine. And one of the things too, which I forgot that Dark Souls 2 did, was when you died, how your health slowly lowers and lowers and lowers.
Yeah.
That especially watching streams, people are like, "Oh, that's bullshit" and stuff like that. It's like, dude, obviously you guys haven't played Demon Souls, because in Demon Souls it didn't slowly go down. You were at half health if you were hollowed.
Yeah, that was like one of the things that like at first I was kind of like, well, that sounds stupid. Why would they do that? And then when it was explained to me that how Demon Souls worked, it's like, oh, so they're just kind of like, and this not only in this, but a lot of ways it seems like they married the two together with Dark Souls 2.
I like that. And there's a ring you can find, just like in Demon Souls, that stops that.
Oh no shit!
Yeah,
I don't think I ever found it.
I think the ring I'm thinking of, I think it only makes it drop to 75% or something like that instead of half.
Right on.
Still nice to have. I don't think I ended up grabbing it because, yeah, they made that game so fucking hard now. They're just fucking parts where you would normally fight the skeletons. You get up there and there's those giant turtle dudes. There's like 6 of them with fucking clubs. It's like, are you serious?
Oh no shit!
Like, yeah, this is right at the beginning of the game too.
Oh man!
And the what's it called? The pursuer boss.
Yeah.
He has more places. Like, I didn't go into the fucking mist gate and kill him right away at the beginning.
Yeah.
I just kept going. He's got like 30 fucking places, like in Resident Evil fucking 3, where he just shows up and starts fucking whipping your ass.
See, that was like annoying me with when I was playing the game. You know, like obviously, it was no problem for me, but it was kind of like, dude, like stop having me fight the same boss. Like, it feels so fucking lazy. You know, like, hey, we want to have a boss fight here, but we couldn't think of anything, so here's this guy again.
Yo.
It's kind of like, ugh.
I had 2 people in with me that I summoned the one time, and just sitting there killing skeletons, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on behind me? I turn around and they're battling that big ass fucker. I'm like, oh, wonderful. And I just left them. I was like, fuck you guys, I'm not fighting him.
Right on.
Definitely harder. All the items and all that shit, I mean, everything's pretty much in the same spot. It's just the enemies they switched up. Because I had a couple people watching the stream going, wow, that wasn't there before, and holy shit, that area is flooded with enemies now.
Right.
Yep.
Well, speaking of harder,
yeah.
I've been playing fucking DayZ still.
Oh, still?
I have been playing DayZ like almost non-stop since fucking December when you bought it for me.
Oh my god.
The best $30 you ever spent, man.
Best $30 I ever spent.
Oh man. But they really fucked that game up now with the patch 55.
Really?
Oh, dude. Now, a lot of people, I will call them apologists, will defend it. I think it's bullshit. They changed the... How do I want to explain this? They changed the way the looting system works. So, okay, first of all servers are now persistent. And which that means... With persistence means if you put, say, your gun down on the ground by a certain tree and the server restarts, when you come back to it, the gun will still be there and not leave, ever. Or supposedly ever, even though people have claimed to see stuff missing. So, I have a feeling that there is a certain point in time where the refresh rate catches up to where it's like, alright, we need to put more stuff down, let's start moving some of this stuff out or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know exactly how that works. In fact, I don't know exactly how any of this stuff works. But anyways, so now that everything's persistent, it means finding stuff is a lot harder because if you go to a town, you know, like if you go to a high popular server, or even a low popular server for that matter, if you go to like the main areas where people have been going, like the Cherno and Electro and Northwest Airfield, you're not gonna find shit. You know, it's not there. And their whole idea is they want to keep players moving. They want people to go to a place. If they don't find anything, be like, all right, let's move to the next town. And when they go to the next town and they clean out everything that's there and there's nothing left, go to the next town. And on that kind of aspect, I totally understand. Like, that's perfectly fine. You want to keep people moving around because really in that game, everyone fucking gets to the northwest side or the northwest or southwest, and that's it. Like, no one fucks with anything on the east side because there's nothing there. There's no choppers, nothing really fucking useful. And this way, it'll keep people moving around to those, areas of the map because there's nothing else anywhere else. But the problem is like, I've gone to places where it's like, alright, I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere in this small town of like 10 houses, and there's not a goddamn thing. And it's like, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning my time. No one else is on the server. No one's been on the server in the last 2 hours, and there's nothing in this fucking town. Like, you can make an argument that someone came through here at some point in time, and now because it's persistent, there's nothing here. But it's like, come on, that's bullshit.
So does this mean that, just for argument's sake, you and I could get on there and collect everything while it's just you and I on there and just move it to one corner of the map and hide everything?
No. I mean, we can do that, but other stuff will respawn.
Okay, so stuff does eventually respawn.
Yes. It respawns, like, no matter what, but the things that you pick up, and if you move it somewhere and like, place it... Like, for instance, the clan that I'm in, we have a location on the map that there's, like, 10 tents. And there's shit all over in all of these tents. And it's in one communal area. And, it stays there. It is, like, whether... Which apparently has happened. But yeah, so yeah, stuff does stay around, and stuff does respawn. It's just I have a hard time believing it respawns the way that they are saying that it does. And I've heard that there's
good. And they're just saying it's supposed to be that way.
No, not exactly. I think they're like, this is what we wanted to do, but it's not working exactly right. And I mean, they've even said, I've seen it on Twitter, that with patches and stuff, that they are like kind of tweaking it. So I mean, and that's another thing that apologists love to fucking remind you that it's an alpha. Ugh. It's like I know about alphas. Like I know how. That's another
alphas
thing.
Alphas barely fucking work. Like period.
Well, I mean, this game. I mean, it works perfectly fine for the most part. Like, it's come a long way, even since I started playing it in December. But like, I can't help but feel like this game reminds me of SOCOM, in the terms of like the people that play it are not gamers per se. Like, I feel like there's a great chunk of people that came over from Arma and Arma type games that are Marines and the Army and these military personnel or whatever that play these kind of games for the military aspect, and then they got into DayZ, and they don't know how game development works as a process on the same level as, like, I don't want to say I do, but like, this is what I pay attention to. I pay attention to how games work and stuff like that. Like, I know about the steps that are taken and stuff like that. And you just get these people that are like, oh, well, it's an alpha, and I'm like, all right, I understand that it's an alpha. I understand that, things are not working perfect, but like, they have an experimental server, and then they have the standard server. And the experimental server is where these patches go to first. And then what it does is they put it there, and then a day or two later, it goes live. And it's like, that's bullshit. That shouldn't happen that way. It should happen where it goes onto the experimental for like a month.
Yeah.
And then bring it over to the fucking standard server. And there's been tons of times where they're like, there's just constant problems with the patch in one way or the other, and then it's like, why wasn't this stuff tweaked on fucking experimental? Why was it even moved from experimental? And like, I was reading an interview with, I guess the game director. I can't even remember his name now. And like the way he said it, he was like, "Well, this is an alpha, so like as long as the game works, it goes from experimental to the standard server." And it's like, "Fuck you, dude. You're so fucking full of shit to say something like that." Like, could you imagine World of Warcraft doing that? Be like, because World of Warcraft and any other MMO out there, whether DayZ is a fucking MMO or not, I don't give a shit. Whatever. Whether it's a finished game or an alpha game, I don't give a shit. When when these games put their shit on their test servers, they make sure it works perfectly fine the way they intend it to before putting it for the public.
Fuck, even DCUO leaves theirs on for like 2-3 months.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty standard thing for it to be a good month or so for that shit to be on there before it goes public or live or however you want to call it. And it's like they don't do that with DayZ, and they're trying to fucking disguise it as, well, it's an alpha. But it's like, all right, for the sake of argument, fine. But what are you gonna do when the game's fucking released and you're trying to pull this shit?
My game is never going to be released.
A lot of people say that.
I honestly, from the last time I played it with you, as long as that game's been in quotations alpha, seems like they are very, very slow at it.
Not really. I mean, aside from the problems the patches have, they've been rolling them out, I would say, pretty decently. I mean,
They still
okay,
don't have a cheat guard system on there, do they?
they have upgraded their cheat system with not Battle Eye. Is it Battle Eye? I think it is Battle Eye. I mean, I have not ran into a cheater since they upgraded that at all. Now, other people claim they have. I believe they're
There's
bullshitting, lying.
always going to be cheaters, though. Somebody will find a way around it, but
Well,
it's just going to be super rare.
I'm sure that is going to be a possibility that people will find their way to hack around it. Sure, but I haven't seen it. Like before they upgraded that, I think it was in 5.3 that they upgraded that. Maybe it was 5.4. It was you'd see a cheater all the time. Like every time I went to a full pop server with my clan, within 5 minutes I was dead by a cheater. Every fucking time. And I was always like, this is why I don't go to high pops, because I'm tired of getting fucking killed within 5 minutes by a fucking cheater and losing all my gear. And then people, the apologist again would be like, well, you're gonna die in this game. This is what you're meant to do. And it's like, man, not by fucking cheaters.
Yup.
Yeah, but...
Now, I'm not trying to jump subjects here, but have you tried H1Z1?
no. I mean, I'm willing to try it when it's free to play.
That game... Now, I played DayZ, had my issues with it. That game is good. H1Z1, I haven't yet... When people get cheated, it posts right up on screen, or when people are cheating, so-and-so banned cheating.
Yeah, that's what... I mean, I have seen that in DayZ recently, where it'll say so-and-so has been banned for cheating. But it's just rare that I see that, and I haven't seen any cheaters.
Yeah, H1Z1 shocked me, because you know how I'm not, like, super into DayZ. I didn't think I was going to be super into that. Hopped on, I'm like, this is not bad. It's like, the animations are pretty nice, it runs good, I haven't crashed.
I mean, my only issue with H1Z1 is the pay to win. And I know people have said, oh, it's not pay to win because the stuff drops anywhere. It's like, it's still pay to win. You're still paying to get gear instead of looking for it. Like, sure, you might have to fight for it and not even get it. You're still paying for the gear to, easily get it. And if you've got enough people around you, you're most likely, I gotta assume, are gonna get it. Like, if there's like 10 people in your crew and you get to the fucking crash site or whatever it is in time, I gotta assume that you're gonna get the gear without any problems. Well, with slight problems.
Because that's one thing I worried about too, but I've probably put, I don't know, maybe 10 hours into it. And the server we play on, I've only seen one loot thing dropped. Usually the new players will use them.
Right on.
And a lot of people either avoid them or I've never seen a person be able to get their own package.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like that happens as much. It seems like the community itself is actually battling against that, going, fuck that, we're not dropping this shit.
Right, and maybe they are. And I haven't seen anything of H1Z1 in a long time now. Like, the last time I watched videos of H1Z1 is when they first let people start doing that. And I was watching a couple of people streaming and stuff, and I'm like, ugh, this is
I don't know
shit.
if it's alpha or beta, but it feels like a finished game now. Like, it feels done.
I think it's I don't know if they're calling it alpha or beta, but I believe it's probably further along than DayZ is. I mean, like, you can construct stuff and huts and stuff like that, and DayZ hasn't touched that stuff yet, even though they are going to.
Electronic locks with passcodes.
Yeah. I just feel like, I mean, it started out as a Sony, a SOE, so I gotta assume they automatically had more money and more more people working on that game.
Oh yeah.
Than what Bohemia does with DayZ. And plus, I mean, like I never played the Arma games, and they seem really cool and everything, but from what I've heard about it is Bohemia just puts out a non-game and says, here, you make it, and then people pay $60 for it. So it really seems like Bohemia doesn't put in a lot of fucking work into their video games. So
they're doing a lot better, because a lot of the mods we run on our Arma 3 servers and shit,
yeah,
we had to get rid of all of them. We're at the start of a new mod pack because the updates they added a lot of the shit we had mods for, finally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, yeah.
But
I still wouldn't call that work. I would
out.
say that taking other people's ideas and probably copying and pasting it.
Yeah. But actually making it work.
Right. But, yeah, and the other thing that's really turned me off from DayZ now is the zombies. They wanted to make it more challenging to be around zombies, so instead of trying to do anything creative with that, first of all, they didn't fix them, so they still lag, they still will hit you when they're not facing you, they'll still hit you from 10 feet away, and they will still hit you from other rooms, or if they're in a house and I'm outside. No, they haven't fixed that. But what they did do is they made it so they hit you a lot more and a lot faster and a lot harder, and it takes more hits to kill them.
That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. And like that's my whole thing too, is like, this is bullshit, blah blah blah. And then again, the apologists out there are like, well, this is supposed to be easy, this is supposed to be survival and blah blah blah, and it's supposed to be
something that's broken, and now you're iterating making it
super zombies, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
the broken shit first.
That was half of my argument, was like, is if they would have fixed the zombies first, I would have been fine with it to a point. But on the other hand, if you want to talk about realism, zombies were people that are now dead. I don't know what the orientation of zombies in DayZ is. Like, I don't know if they're just people that rose out of the ground, or if it's kind of like The Walking Dead, where people died, and if they brain didn't die, they would just come back to life, or
Scientology.
Yeah, whatever. But when it comes down to it, they're fucking humans, and if I have a sledgehammer and I fucking hit a zombie in the goddamn head with it, his head should be removed from his fucking body, and he should be dead after one hit. Like, it shouldn't take 5 hits with a fucking sledgehammer to kill a zombie, or an axe for that matter. If I hit a zombie with a fucking axe, his head should come off, his arms should come off, his legs should come off. Like,
it sounds to me like the best $20 I've ever spent is going to be buying you H1Z1.
I don't know about
shit
that.
Happens in H1Z1. Like, the zombies move like zombies. They don't hitch.
Yeah.
You can avoid them. If you lose line of sight, they will forget or can't find you.
I mean, I will give them credit on that now zombies don't fucking detect you from 6 miles away.
Oh god, I hated that.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts. Like, now you can be pretty close to them and crouch down behind a bush and have them not bother you.
Can you sneak up behind them and break their necks?
Supposedly you can sneak up behind them and get a fucking hit on them. I have not been able to. I will get like a foot away from them and they turn around and start pummeling me. And I've learned
At
that
super
that's
speed.
yeah. Oh man, there was one time that I got beat up by a zombie, but I got myself, I killed the zombie. I got myself energized and hydrated enough that, I, was doing okay. I wasn't healing or anything like that. My leg was hurting, but it wasn't fractured yet. And I was able to stop the bleeding. And then, like, an hour later, I fucking go out the back door of this goddamn apartment, and there's a zombie right there, and I go to run away, and it smacks me. Like, just having contact with zombies counts as hits, which, adds to the fact that you get hit like 20 times in 1 second now. So I run into the zombie, he hits me, he fractures my leg, I'm like, fuck, and I pull my fucking gun out, and I shoot at him. I shoot like 3 or 4 times, and nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how am I missing? Like, my... The reticles are different now. It's no longer a little dot. It's these two, like, brackets for, like, when you put stuff in brackets, those two, like, little C things. That's what you have now. So trying to even pick up stuff off the ground now is a fucking hassle. It's like you're being a drunk or something. And you're like trying to grab that fucking bottle of booze. You gotta like get it just right. Like, okay, I'm getting off track here a little bit. At least with that little dot, when that little dot, you knew, all right, if I have that little dot on the can of spaghetti, I'll pick up the can of spaghetti. Now you have to kind of like get it just right in the middle there, and kind of guess to be able to pick up the can of spaghetti, which is just a fucking hassle. But anyway, so that's what their way of crosshairs now. And I'm like, I take like 4 shots at the zombie. I'm like, I see blood come off of him at least one time. And I'm like, come on, what the fuck? Like, my quote-unquote crosshairs are on him. So then I go into first-person mode and realize that my gun barrel is sticking through his leg. And I'm just shooting, nothing. And so I try backing up, and the zombie just stays right on top of me. Like, I'm backing up an inch a second, and he takes 2 steps, and he's just right back, basically he's like standing on my back. So I have no way to kill the zombie. Like, I'm laying on the ground with a fractured leg, so I can't swing at him with my fucking sledgehammer and axe or anything like that. And any trying to use a gun on him is completely useless, because aiming at him is the gun going through him. If I can even aim at him. I mean, I'm trying to back up and aim at him, but I just can't do it. And, like, if I stay still, I definitely am not hitting him because he's on my back. So I'm like, I literally just put my controller down and just let him beat the shit out of me. And then 2 other zombies showed up and started doing the same thing. Which, that's the other thing, is now when you shoot a gun, there's a better chance of getting a horde onto you.
Ooh, that's kind of cool, though.
That is kind of cool. The idea of that is cool, but with these kind of super zombies, it's a fucking nightmare. So yeah, I for the most part have been slowly not playing DayZ anymore. In fact, I haven't played in like the last couple days now, and that's the most that I haven't played it since I was gonna say since I bought it, but since you bought it, since I got it. So I mean, that's December. It's just like, man, they really fucked that game up.
If you're starting to lean away towards it, but you still like the action of it, I would start looking into... I know you're waiting for it to go free to play, but H1Z1. It sounds like everything that makes you up, or that's fucked up about DayZ now, works on H1Z1. Like the zombies. Like, it's a full... There's nobody going, it's alpha, it's beta.
Right.
It's like, yeah, this feels like a game. Like, it's done. Because I was waiting for it to go free to play. I'm like, this looks almost done.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, outside of the pay-to-win stuff, I mean, everything seems perfectly fine to me. I mean, I'm just waiting for it to go free to play because it bothers the fuck out of me that they are charging for that game in early access when it's going to be free to play when it's finished. Like, it's totally fucking ass backwards.
I've heard rumors, and I don't know if it's true, but that they're possibly going to keep the pay model down the road. Maybe. That's what I saw in their forums. They're looking at like the Guild Wars buy to play, like you buy it once and you're in for everything. because they have a battle royale mode that's like Hunger Games.
Well,
I guess that's what people are paying extra money for, is to like get event tickets to join the battle royales.
oh really?
Which I haven't did that yet, but everybody says it's fucking hard.
Yeah, I mean, at first I thought maybe like they would do it as like a starter pack kind of thing. Because I mean, I've heard of free to play games doing that before, where it's like, oh, it's free to play, but you can buy $20 and you get, you know, a starter pack, which is like this gun or this ammo or something like that, and this armor and shit like that.
And lose it in a day. Yeah, I mean, crafting stuff, it's simplified, I will say that.
Yeah.
Very simplified. Like, once you learn the recipe to craft something, if you've got the objects, you can just craft the fuck away.
Right on.
And it explains, this object makes this, you need this to make this. And I'm like, okay, I like that. I don't pick up a car battery and go, what the fuck do I do with this? Goes in a car, but what else do I need? This one, it's like, alright, here's a car. You need spark plugs, car battery, gasoline.
That is kind of nice. I mean, that was one thing with DayZ that kind of drove me nuts, is like, oh, well, if you do this with this, you can make this, like, you know, backpacks. You know, you can make backpacks. And I'm like, why doesn't the game tell you that? And it's like, well, because it's realistic. And it's like, come on. Like, just, you know, when you have the picture with the information, you know, for you know, the shit, have it in there. Like,
Nope.
I mean, when it tells me that the 1911 is a gun that's named 1911 because of the year that it was made in the United States Army and blah, 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 you don't get that in real life, do ya?
Nope.
So why can't it fucking tell me, oh, when you combine, you know, this is rope made from this. If you tie it with this, you make a backpack. Like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, people have been... In H1Z1, people like to steal the cars and park them next to their bases. And we snuck up on one. What you do is you either take like spark plugs or the battery and put it inside your base. That way if they don't have the tools, they can't steal it.
Yeah.
But we were sitting outside just watching this guy in his base, and these other two guys pull up in a cop car. We see them fuck with it, and then go inside, and we're like, they took something out. So we had all the parts, so we just run up on the car. Fucking PK's unloading on the dudes in there with a sniper rifle, and it's like, oh, spark plugs. Put them in the car, stole their fucking cop car, got chased halfway across and got by him in a Jeep.
That's awesome.
And that's what I didn't like about DayZ. Like, I run up to a car, I'm like, alright, what the fuck do I need to do?
Right.
It's definitely simplified, I will say that. It's like an arcadey version of, not super arcadey, but an arcadier version of DayZ.
That's the thing that I've heard about it is I've heard it as being arcadey. Or an arcade version of DayZ.
And the only thing that's arcadey about it is they tell you what you need to do for things.
Right.
Everything else, you have to find water. You can combine water with this, but if you have blackberries, it's like, hey, combine these with purified water and have blackberry juice. Increases your health this much. Oh, thanks.
For some reason, it reminded me of the movie Friday, where he's like, blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Oh man. So okay.
What else you got?
Since I've kind of stopped playing that, I stumbled across playing Prison Architect again.
I've seen you playing the shit out of that.
Yeah, I was watching that they just released, you know, God damn it, Alpha 31 for it, which Prison Architect is another early access game. And, you know, Prison Architect is a great example of how to do early access, because every month they do an update, every month they do a video showing off what you can do that's new, and it's really nice, really helpful. And I haven't really been paying attention to any of them since, I don't know, like 20. So, I'm really fucking out of my elements here. But yeah, I kind of I got back into it, and I lost my old prison, my $1 billion prison, or what was going to be my $1 billion prison, because I had a mod from Steam that allowed, you know, that just gave me $1 billion. So I started making another one, and you can go into like what they call sandbox mode now, and work with it with, you know, not worrying about money. It's just like right now, my prison is like $850,000 in debt. But I'm still building it. I haven't brought any prisoners on yet. I haven't done any of the loans or anything like that yet, and I haven't, so, and being that there's no prisoners, I haven't done any of the workshop stuff yet. So, yeah, the last couple of days I've been playing that a lot. I've restarted a couple times. I've always, they have a planning section there to kind of like map out everything. And I've always been one to use that, like, okay, how do I want this building to work? Like, I want to fit all the different offices for the warden and chief and, banker or whatever. Not the banker, but the attorney and stuff like that in here. And I would, do that. But then I would always just run into these little things where it's like, oh, I didn't plan out far enough, so now I need this and I don't have room for it. And, that happened with me, like, last night. I, had this awesome prison built out, like, really liked where I was going with it. And then I was going back and started watching the video a little bit more of Alpha 31 update, and they started talking about how death row works. And I'm like, whoa, shit, like, I didn't know, you could have a section basically built just for the death row inmates, so I wanted to do that. And then I'm like, in my prison, and I'm like, I don't have room for this. So I was like, fuck it, and I just restarted it. And then I restarted a couple times. One time because okay, when you restart, when you start fresh, you automatically have a timer starting that starts, like, it's like 8 hour, every 8 hours prisoners will show up.
That's why I hate that game.
So I restarted and I was like, oh fucking, I think I went to go take a shit or a piss or whatever. And then I came back, started watching YouTube videos, then decided I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. I'm gonna watch Netflix. Watched Netflix for a while, took a fucking nap, woke up, got on my computer, like, oh shit, I forgot I had Prison Architect up. Look at it, I had 250 like fucking prisoners standing in a gigantic circle, and all around the outside edge just says dead. And I'm like, oh shit, like, I took a screenshot of it on my Steam. That was the most hilarious thing I ever seen in that fucking game. That game can show you a lot of fucking crazy shit.
That game with that timer, man, that once they start flowing in those prisoners, shit is going too fast. Like, I could barely get shit constructed for what they needed.
Well, you can shut it off.
You can?
Yes.
Oh. I probably would. Holy shit! I'm looking at this picture.
It's a bloodbath, dude.
This is what all prisons do. There's like fucking 9 ambulances.
I know.
This is what all prisons should be like. This is great. This is the best one you've ever made.
It makes me want to make like a Thunderdome and just like a giant fucking room, call it a cell, put in one bed down in the corner with a fucking toilet, and just filter them all into there, and just have them fight it out.
The winner gets to escape.
Yeah, the winner gets free.
Just think of all these people in this picture you don't have to feed now. You need to save money.
Right. Oh man. But yeah, it's somewhere in that file folder where it has like the jobs and all that information in there. There's a section in there where it's I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's called intake or something like that, and you can switch it to off or none. They changed it a little bit.
I'd always end up having so many people in there. It's like, dude, all I got is fucking just a regular holding area. I don't even have time to build anything yet.
Yeah, when I first started playing the game, I was having that trouble. And then I stumbled across that, and I was like, oh, that makes it so much easier.
Well, shit.
And of course, I mean, I got the game when it was like Alpha 15, so things have changed a lot. Yeah, you should definitely go back and play it. I mean, depending on how long it's been since you played it. I mean,
a couple months.
I mean, on skin deep, nothing's really changed. I mean, everything's basically the same. You have a couple of new rooms and stuff like that, and different like guard types and whatnot. But it's mainly, I think, the the inner workings of it have really changed over, I would say the last couple of months, year or so. I can't remember how long ago that I bought it. Like I said, it was like Alpha 15 or something like that when I first got it. If that, it might even been single digits when I got that game. I got it like right after it went on Steam. But yeah, I've only been playing it a couple of days, but I think what I want to do is after I get it built and get prisoners in there, I'll probably start live streaming that. Because, I mean, I would have people watch me live stream it before when I was building prisons, but mainly all I was doing was like, alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build my prison cells here. I'm going to put the toilets here and see what it does with putting the toilets in this area like this is I can just run the pipe along this way. That's all I was doing. People would watch. I mean, I gotta give myself credit for that. I'd get like 2 or 3 people watching, but I think it'd be more fun to live stream me just going through the fucking chaos of fucking running a prison with a bunch of people fighting and riots and shit like that. Yeah, Thunderdomes.
Mad Max. No pun intended.
Oh man.
Max prison.
Other than that, I got the Path of the Warrior DLC for WWE 2K15.
I played this too.
I didn't play it. I just been playing the characters in my universe mode, and I gotta give them credit, man. Like, I love the work they put into the Ultimate Warrior with like all the different outfits and shit. Like that's all I really wanted was like last year's. With having Ultimate Warrior, and there's the one outfit, it's like, fine, whatever, it's cool. And then this year was kind of the same thing where it's like, oh, really, that's it? But, like, this one, they give him, like, a bunch of his iconic outfits from, like, WrestleMania 5 or 6 and 7 and stuff like that. I love, that they have Andre the Giant and Macho King in there. I'd rather be Macho Man, but whatever. Rick Rude and shit. Yeah, that was kind of annoying to me too, but it's like,
You're putting the dude into the Hall of Fame, kinda.
Oh man,
why not fucking? I want him coming out in the tassels and the cowboy hat, neon green cowboy hats.
I mean, you can change that stuff, if you wanted to. I've thought about doing it, but I'd rather his classic, like orange or pink tights with yellow boots. But yeah.
I played through it. It's one of the better ones for the showcases.
See, I haven't played any of the showcases at all, so I can't really say.
A lot of quick time events.
Yeah, man, that kind of sucks.
Because I mean, a lot of the Warriors matches didn't last like super fucking long.
I gotta imagine, yeah, the Honky Tonk Man one had to have been short as fuck. Seeing that match, I think in real life lasted 8 seconds. That's the very first
one you do, because I loaded it up and I'm like, oh sweet, Honky Tonk's down. All right, here comes the Warrior, and it's like quick time. You win. Wait, what? I was like, what the fuck is that? All this is?
Yeah.
All right, I'm okay with this. I might get this one completed.
I was definitely expecting that kind of stuff to happen.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good though. The Hogan stuff, they did a good job with that one. The other one's not so much. That one's damn good.
Right on. And maybe I will play it. I mean, Ultimate Warrior was my favorite, and I don't know. I just haven't really cared to play any of those things at all. I've just been into the universe mode and stuff, but even with that, I'm kind of like meh. Like I don't like the rivalry stuff. How they have it worked out. So much of it is always grayed out that it's like, why did you do this? And a lot of it's like, oh, what if, And it's like, all right, oh, but so and so has to be world champion to do it. And it's like, no.
The CM Punk ones.
Yeah, stuff like that. I don't even have CM Punk on my fucking roster, man. He's inactive. AJ Lee is now too.
Yeah. No, I've been on a kick of fucking downloading all the NXT people.
I got close. I was gonna buy that pack so that I can get the Ascension, and then I was just like, no, no.
There's some good created ones in there. Like I got Hideo Itami and who else? I'm like brain farting. Kevin Owens,
Oh yeah.
the Lucha Dragons.
Now are these ones that other people have created and you downloaded?
Yeah.
All right.
They're good quality. Awesome guy. We were talking about WWE 2K15.
Yeah, they have some pretty cool stuff on the store, and I've learned that there's ways to some of the characters you can download from the store from the store from the created thing, and like New Day. I have those three guys now in that attire. Because I wanted another fucking tag team, because their tag team division fucking sucks ass.
That's why you need to buy the Ascension. That way you at least have a tag team.
That's just way too expensive for the fucking two characters, man.
I ended up picking it up because they had a deal the other day.
Oh,
I
really?
think it was 2 weeks ago. They had Xbox deals with Gold, and it was like 75% off all those packs. And the only one I bought was the NXT one.
Oh, no shit.
And yeah, they're not that great. The Ascension's intro is cool, but Adam Rose doesn't even come out with his posse. Just comes out dancing with a sucker in his mouth. I'm like, really?
Ugh, gross.
Where's the bunny?
Oh, man. Alright, so we got like 15 minutes.
I can send a text and go a little longer.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I do want to like kind of power through some of this. Well, let's just get started. Like, let me just start with Game of Thrones. I've watched the first 4 episodes of that.
For the new season?
Yep.
That's all I hear people talking about. The
No,
new season.
But you don't understand. I watched the first 4 episodes of Game of Thrones. Just the first one. First 4.
How'd you do that?
'Cause fucking internet, motherfucker.
Aww.
Here's the thing. I have HBO. I wanted to do right by HBO and my cable provider. I didn't want to download illegally and watch the TV show. But I to be able to use HBO Now, and I assume HBO Go, it's a separate thing.
Yep.
They charge like $15 to use that. So if I want to use that, I have to basically pay for HBO twice.
Fuck that.
Which to me is like paying for Netflix twice on PC for one and my PS4 for the other. And I was like, you know what? No, fuck you, HBO. And I'm going to do one worse. I'm going to fucking watch the leak episodes. Fuck you. So I'm 4 weeks ahead.
Just ruin everybody's life on Twitter.
Oh man, I could tell everyone about. Oh man, just so much. I can tell everyone about how Grey Worm and one of the other guys get into a fight in the 4th episode and don't die. Oh
Yeah,
shit! Spoiler alert.
You mentioned that
You don't know anything about
quit spoiling it.
Well, no one's in my chat room, so I'm not too worried about it. And well, whatever. Anyways, yeah, I mean it's good. It is slow. That's pretty much expected. You know, Game of Thrones always, the first couple episodes are kind of like, the seasons, for the most part, always end with a bang, and then when they start out the next season, they're kind of like ramping back up. So it's not too surprising that there hasn't been too much going on. Well, okay, I want to say there's not too much going on, but yet there is a lot going on. Like we got Arya doing her thing with the man from the 2nd season, and that's literally all I can really say about him because that's basically his name is the man, the guy, whatever he was called. He didn't have a name. They're fucking
I heard there's a lot of fucking.
There's a lot of fucking. I can't remember her name. Not Arya Stark, because that's who I was just talking about. Sansa. She's now like Littlefinger's talking her into marrying Ramsay, who's the guy that cut off what's his name's dick and has turned him into a fucking brainwashed fucking vegetable, and he's a fucking creep and everything, and she knows that his father is the one that killed her brother. So yeah, it's like a whole thing there that's kind of interesting. At the same time, it's like it seems like Littlefinger's like talking her into doing this, saying like, "Hey, you gotta take control. You know, this is your chance to to eventually get revenge. You know." But at the same time, it's like clearly you're just talking her into doing that because you have your own plans, and you're trying to use her and manipulate her that way and stuff like that. So,
Is Gary Busey on the show yet?
no.
All right, let me know when Gary Busey starts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's, being that you don't know anything that I'm talking about, I feel like it's kind of lost to talk about it, but I figured I'd at least bring it up.
You're not spoiling the day of the adventure Game of Thrones.
Well, I'm not, I mean, nothing I'm saying is really spoilers or anything like that. It's just kind of like the premise of what's going on with each of the characters right now. Like, I haven't really spoiled much of what's going on with these characters with what I'm saying about them. Like, I mean, I could a little bit, I guess.
I mean, is it still good?
Yeah, it's still a great show and everything.
Is this season just as good as the previous? Or kind of going downhill?
I wouldn't say it's going downhill. I mean, like I said, I've only seen the first 4 episodes, and so, like, even though there isn't, like, there is a ton of shit going on, nothing's really being amped up or anything like that, so it's kind of like just watching it right now. But, I mean, things feel like they're gonna come to a head by the end of the season, maybe, for a lot of characters.
Shit goes down when Gary Busey shows up.
that would be... I wouldn't mind seeing him on that show.
And he's not going to play any characters. He's going to play as Gary Busey.
Well, the last time I heard, like, that's what he would tell people, is like yeah, I'll be on your thing, but I'm just going to do my thing. I'm not going to go by your script.
That'd be great. They start talking all, there's a dragon coming, and he's like, did you guys ever find Jesus? I saw the guy once. Who is this Jesus you speak of?
He's like, I tell you what, I met Jesus. I met him in that breath of that fire from that dragon. When he burnt me alive. But I came back. Look at me now. I'm here.
Burned away the sins of my insides.
All he left me with was what's on the outside. And now I have the fire of the dragon inside.
Gary Busey needs to be on everything.
Oh, man. He comes in riding the dragons. Fucking
oh, God. Somebody make a fucking Photoshop of Gary Busey riding the dragon.
No, not even just riding it, but like fucking surfboarding it. Like, take a Photoshop image of when he jumps on the desk from Point Break, where he's pretending it's a surfboard, and take that photo and put it onto one of the backs of the dragons from Game of Thrones.
God.
I just gave everyone the elements they need.
Yeah, I see a spin-off.
But yeah, I mean, it's really good. But yeah, I mean, I did kind of, hurt myself, so now I'm kind of like, I gotta wait fucking a month before a new episode, basically, for me, but I can at least watch the first 4 over and over again if I want to.
We'll get into the hurting yourself thing. Well, that sounded weird.
They did.
Well, we'll get into the watching too many episodes at once thing here.
The other show that I've been watching is Justified. Now, do you watch Justified? I mean, we never talked about it before. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
This is the
running
like Western
before.
show, right?
No. I mean, it takes place in Kentucky. So
like Marshall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about this, and I've heard it's fucking amazing, but I've never watched it. What is it on?
FX, I do believe. I'm
Really?
99% sure it's on FX. Yeah.
How is this not on fucking Netflix?
Um, is FX shows on Netflix?
Yeah, they've got like Always Sunny and all that shit.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah.
This is bullshit.
Well,
Yeah,
this
I want to see the show.
tonight is the final episode.
Oh, this is a good time to start then.
Yeah. So I mean, uh, how do I want to explain this season? See, again, like, because you don't know anything about it, I kind of feel like if I explain this season of how it's gone so far, it's going to be lost on you, and I'll just find myself backpedaling. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to tell
Gary
you.
Busey, make an appearance.
You should. I doubt this is going to happen, seeing tonight's the final episode. You should definitely watch. Just really, really good show. I love it. I came in at season 3. And then after season 3 was done, I went back and watched the first 2 seasons, to make sure I was all caught up. But
usually does pretty good shows, so I do want to see this.
I can't, for the life of me, name any other shows that they have that I watch. I mean, Sunny, I like
Sons of
Sunny.
Anarchy.
Okay, Sons of Anarchy I haven't watched, but I do have it on my queue on Netflix.
That's so good.
I do want to watch it. I just haven't yet. Now that their final season just started or ended or something like that.
Yeah, that show's done.
Yeah, and that's what Justified's doing too. This is it.
So. Yeah, Justified's definitely one I do see myself watching. Game of Thrones.
A part of me thinks that you might like Game of Thrones, but then it's like, I don't know.
Hey, I can say this: my grandmother finished all the books.
Yeah.
And she said it's fucking good, and she started explaining shit to me, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I feel like it's weird that your grandmother has read those books saying, like, there's, like, 13-year-old girls having sex.
Yeah, she just like books. I don't know.
I mean, fine, like, whatever. It's just, that does seem weird, though.
When you're like 70 years old, that doesn't bother you anymore.
It's like, fuck it, what do I care?
Yeah.
I mean, and, like, I'm just guessing. I mean, like, in the show, they're not 13. They're clearly over the age.
Clearly 15.
But, like, I guess in the books, it's like, oh, this person that you've been, like, fucking thinking about while seeing them getting rammed doggy style in the TV show, and the books are actually, like, 12-year-old girls. It's like, oh, that's not at all awkward, because that just turns me on even harder.
Oh,
man.
Yep. Dragon to save the girls.
Alright, so let's get to the shows that we both watch, starting with The Flash, because that one has been pretty fucking crazy lately.
Yeah, they finally went down the time travel path, but they kind of let that go really quick.
Yeah, that was
just a bang bang time travel. Let's keep moving on with other things.
First off, I mean, because alright, we haven't done a podcast in a while, so we haven't talked about the show in a while. I just want to go back a couple episodes ago where he first did the time travel thing, because, like, him and Black Girl get hooked up, because
I knew all that shit that started happening. I was like, this is gonna be an episode where he time travels.
What? With all that shit's going on, I'm like, I got on Twitter after that, and I was like, wow, they just threw everything at us in like 10 minutes. Like, that's fucking stupid. And then the next episodes, they just fucking erase all of it, and I'm like, oh, I guess that makes sense.
I knew that was gonna happen. I'm like, this is way too much shit getting thrown out there in one fucking episode.
But okay, for me, I have a hard time telling which one of these two people are the biggest assholes, her or Barry. Because she decides that she likes Barry because she sees him with another girl.
Like most women.
Yeah, right? So, like, that's a big fucking dipshit fucking shitty move. Like, to do that to a friend. Because she's a girl, though, it's cool, But,
yeah.
I just found it's like, wow, that's an asshole move. So then, the next episodes, he knows that it's gonna happen, or so he thinks, and he goes and breaks up with his girlfriend. And it's like, wow, you're a fucking asshole.
You never see her again. He just, all right, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, he never goes back to her. Like, why wouldn't he go back to her? Like, after, his, lifelong love, I can't think of her name for the life of me. But why,
Iris.
Iris, yeah. Why after she's like, no, this is bullshit, like, you gotta stop this. Why did he just go back to his old girlfriend and be like, sorry, I thought I wanted her, but I did. Just lie.
Just time travel, the asshole. Go run on the beach some more.
Yeah, right? Yeah, or do that. But, I mean, we've gotten a lot of fucking information, like, since then, though. Like,
I like the way they did explain the doctor. Not the doctor. Like how that's not really his body now.
I didn't like that because they didn't explain it.
No, they didn't explain it, but I like that it kind of makes me think, alright, so the doctor guy wasn't an asshole.
Alright, yeah, fair enough, yes. That's fine.
The
But,
doctor was a good guy.
yeah, and then Dickhead fucking took over his body, which now it's kind of leaves you, like, wondering, like, alright, so who is this guy? Like, it's no one that's been on the show before. We now know who Zoom is.
He's a distant relative of the detective.
I mean, possible. I mean, that's, like, the whole idea,
They
right?
did say that.
Did they say that?
Yeah, during the time travel thing. He's like, wait, the detectives, right before he killed the long-haired hippie kid, he said something about, well, that's the same as the detective. And he's like, yeah, let's just call him a long-distance relative.
Okay. I must have missed that. I don't remember that happening at all.
So he's going to end up being a bad guy, I think.
The detective?
Yeah, I see that coming.
I hope not, because I really like him. He's cool
he's
people.
just a cool dude.
Yeah, exactly. Even though Iris is his girlfriend, she's a total bitch.
Yeah, I'm so sick of her. I like that Barry's finally starting to hop on the bandwagon with Joe about something's up with the professor.
Yeah, what was that about? Like, all he sees is some dude's missing, and he's like, "Shay, maybe they're right." Like, really? That's all it took? Was someone missing?
Yeah, just a random guy.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a random guy. It was the dude that,
Like the story.
he knew that this guy was looking to fucking put, to find something on the doctor on wheels. But I mean,
disappeared.
I mean, just I feel like
people that know Barry's the Flash now too.
Yeah, why did they fucking tell Cop?
I don't know.
All right.
That makes me wonder why, or think that he is going to end up knowing he's a bad guy though. Or he is going to end up being a bad guy.
This is a problem. All right. I just want to point this out to anyone that's listening to this, that we are horrible, that we've been watching this show for this long, and yet we know none of the fucking characters' names.
Joe, there's Iris, there's Barry.
So you know them. You're just going along with names like Wheels and Cop, just to let me look like an asshole.
Kinda, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Detective, cop.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they've been moving along. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean,
I just wish they'd kind of get back on track with the time travel stuff, because you just don't time travel and then forget it the next 2 episodes. Like, on with our day.
yeah, I mean, like, he time travels in the next episode, he's like, hey, everything's cool, and he's like, I don't know, bad things happen, blah, blah, blah. And, like, that started making sense to me, like, oh, I finally get it, like, this is why he goes back in time, is because, Zoom isn't, maybe a bad guy per se, maybe he's stopping him from saving his mother, because if he does, like he says, if you do something...
The Flash.
Well, I was thinking more like, because like when he puts away that one guy, right? Because he knows where he is or whatever, because he traveled in time, and then shit goes bad, and like the Wheels tells him like, hey, even though you did something good, this can be really bad because, time travel, kind of like the butterfly effect.
Well, that's the thing, though. If his mom didn't die, his dad didn't go to prison, if all that didn't exactly happen the way it was supposed to, he would never have became the Flash. He wouldn't have been with a Joe. He wouldn't have probably ended up being a cop.
Well, possibly, sure, but I mean, they haven't really explained why that matters to Zoom.
I'm just gonna go with he's an asshole.
But I mean, he goes back to, well, then why go back to stop him? Like, I mean, something about Barry becoming the Flash has to do with Zoom. I gotta assume.
See, I don't want to kind of spoil things based off the comic stuff, but in the comics make it seem like the detective's the one that goes back in time, because Zoom tries to go back and kill Iris because her and Barry end up getting together.
Okay.
And all that shit. That's why I'm like, the detective's the one that has the connection with her.
Right.
And that guy's definitely way too fucking old to be the detective down the road. Or way too young to be the detective down the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, they have no... And the funny thing is, they keep saying... They've already established that, there were two streaks. There were two streaks when his mom died.
Right.
But then when they found that blood and it returned to Barry, they're like, it couldn't have been him there, because there was only one thing of blood. Wait, what? I thought you guys all agreed there were two people there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess supposedly only one of them was bleeding or got blood on anything, which seems lame to me. Like, I find that hard to believe, but fine.
Yeah, the special effects they keep going to for that shit's pretty badass, too.
Yeah.
That epic speed battle they did in the last episode.
Yeah.
Man, that is cool as fuck. I want to see more of this. Nope. Back to cold. Now they're friends.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, like, for the most part, I'm still, really enjoying it, but...
Well, you do know what's going to be happening when they come back again, I think, next week?
Yeah, what the fuck is that, man? Like, they've gone on, like, 3 fucking breaks. Like, they had their winter break, and then a couple of weeks ago, they finally came back from a break, and then last week, they didn't have episodes.
Yeah, it's confusing the fuck out of me.
It's like, fucking...
They're supposed to... The next episode that comes back is going to be the Arrow Flash team-up.
Another team-up.
Yep. And I saw a picture of... Do you want me to just say it? Want me to say it?
Sure.
Captain Cold apparently working with them.
Alright.
And...
No.
Adam is going to show up.
Nope.
And, what's his face?
Nope.
The Star Labs people help
Nope.
Adam with his suit.
Nope. You can't pull April Fools on me halfway through April.
Nope, that's what's going to be happening.
Man, okay. Okay. You know what? I put up with a lot of stupid shit with DC. Okay. A lot of the characters have bad origin stories, and a lot of their villains are really fucking dumb and fucking campy. But I lost it with the fucking girl with the gold gun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's so much fucking wrong with this. Like, I put up with him being able to make this cold gun and hot gun in the middle of a fucking house with no fucking anything, somehow MacGyvers them together. But then he makes a gun that fucking spits out gold? Melting gold?
Weird.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and why are you people criminals anymore? Take the gun, shoot rocks. Shoot
I
rocks.
thought the same thing.
Shoot a bunch of rocks and leave.
Robbing people now?
Yeah. Fucking stupid. The fucking stupidest thing. Like, I'm going to give the show the benefit of the doubt that this is a real character in the real comic books of DC and not blame the show.
Yeah, that's a real character. That's his sister.
God, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen.
In the comics, she had a fascination with, like, jewelry, not a gold gun. Like, she had jewelry bombs, like diamond bombs and shit.
That sounds dumb too, but I mean,
Yeah,
this is even
dumb.
worse.
And she
This
could
is
fly.
worse. Okay, you know what? Fine. Whatever. Flying, let him fly. I don't care. But a gun that shoots gold, like, And why doesn't Cisco just make his own and do the same thing? Be like, all right, take care, guys. Fuck you, brother. Turn his brother into gold and go sell him and fucking make a fucking mint and go to fucking another world and be a fucking king. Like, oh god, that was so fucking upsetting to me. That so pissed me off. Like,
there's another big spoiler from a photo I seen, but that involves Arrow. So,
oh no.
well, he shows up in the Flash wearing some stuff that you're like, oh. So this happened. I don't know how they're gonna do it though, because the Flash is always on before Arrow.
Maybe they'll switcheroo it or something. I don't know.
They fucking pick what weeks. They're like, we're having a new episode this week. Take 2 weeks off. Do an episode this week. 3 weeks off. So
Yeah.
maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, speaking of Arrow,
It's been good.
it has been, except the Atom thing really was anticlimactic to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really looking forward to, like, Iron Man level shit, and we didn't get it.
I think we're eventually gonna get it. I think after that crossover episode, we're probably gonna get it.
I hope so. I mean, I'm cool with him being, like, all of a sudden, like, for no reason, by the way, being like, oh, yeah, you were right. Arrow is a good guy.
Yeah.
Like, out of nowhere, just all of a sudden, he got his ass kicked by him, and he's like, alright, yeah, you're right, he's cool. He's cool people.
He didn't stab me in the face.
Yeah, he didn't kill me, so that means he didn't kill anyone. Like, but...
The ending of that last episode, though, that was pretty cool. I liked that.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude turned himself in and dressed as the Arrow.
yeah, I
was like,
I couldn't help but fucking think of the movie Spartacus when that happened. Oh, man.
Well, it kind of makes sense because when I thought about it, I'm like, well, yeah, he wanted to turn himself in because he's always felt guilty for killing the one cop. But then I thought, maybe he's turning himself in because he knows Oliver knows what to do. Because he did mention that, like, well, Oliver would know what to do.
Right. Yeah, okay. That's the one thing that is bothering the shit out of me with both of these shows is, like, the we gotta talk syndrome. I mean, like, I'm cool with having dialogue and just talking moments, but when everything's, like, kind of, like, coming off in the same kind of, like, hey, we gotta have a talk. Let's go get coffee later kind of bullshit. And then with, like, Speedy... No, he's not Speedy, right?
He's technically Speedy. He is Speedy. They've called him Speedy, but he calls his sister Speedy as a nickname as well, which is confusing as fuck.
Okay, yeah, see, yeah, because I'm confused. But, Red Hood...
Yeah.
Like, he annoys the shit out of me lately with that kind of, like, but I killed that cop. And I just, like, the last time he mentioned it, I was like, oh my fucking god, dude. Like,
The guilt.
I was like, shut the fuck up about it already. Like, we get it. You're not happy that you fucking killed the cop. Like, it's done and over with. Oh.
I think the worst thing I've seen on there so far that's bothered me was that dumbass random Diggle and his wife go on a fucking combat mission.
Oh, that was
like,
bad.
This makes no sense. Why the fuck is this is stupid.
That was so fucking bad, man.
It's so random. What the hell?
Like, not only that, but, like, I mean, I was cool with them trying to give a little bit of humanize Deadshot a little bit. I was cool with that, but just using this as his way of doing it was
Some random
bad.
operation in the middle.
Yeah, it was just so fucking bad. Like, just everything about it was. I mean, it was. Not only was it bad because it was just like random out of nowhere. Like, hey, how do we humanize him? Let's do this. But I mean, just completely out of fucking character. Like, at one point, wasn't his Diggle's wife like, hey, man, we're not here to rescue fucking hostages? It's like, what? Like,
And
what
at the
is going
very
on?
end, they come back and they're like, yeah, we're both out of the game. And then the next episode, Diggle's still working with Arrow.
Yeah.
They did not need that.
That was so bad.
Very weird.
That was so bad, yeah. And they need to stop with the fucking flashbacks.
Yes.
Like, let's just be done with it. Like, You know, like I was fine with it through the second season. You know, even when people in the second season were like, "What? They're still doing it? That's stupid." I'm like, "Well, I mean, they're working. They're using him to, you know, with each episode they show flashbacks that show what he had learned to help him along, and like from Hong Kong on, it's like, all right, this is really getting out of hand. Now it's just getting worse. Where like he finds fucking Shadow Wolf's fucking twin sister
And
shit.
we get it. That one guy that's in the League of the Assassins used to be friends with him. We get it.
Yeah, right. Man, it's that it's getting out of hand.
I hope Ra's al Ghul stays around for a while. I like some Ra's.
I like the guy that they have playing as Raja Ghul a lot.
Hell yeah.
He's
cool.
yeah, I like him. And it's gonna be interesting what this is gonna lead to, I guess.
Yeah, I already know.
You do.
Yeah. That
What?
got ruined for me.
Oh, okay. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna drop any bombs. I don't know what's happening with like the dude getting arrested or nothing, but with the whole League of Assassins shit, that got ruined for me.
Right on.
On a sneak preview for when the show picks back up in another week.
Ah, man, why did they
That's
do
not
that?
really a sneak preview. That's kind of a full blown spoiler, assholes.
Yeah, you know that's the. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna use it as a fucking segue. They did that with fucking Daredevil.
Oh, showing the fucking costume?
Yeah.
Oh, I was so even on the fucking when I clicked on Netflix to watch it, it's him standing there in the costume.
Oh, really?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I'm so thankful that I got through that entire season without fucking having it spoiled for me.
Oh man, like I know how he gets his suit and the origin behind that, but
Well, I mean,
come on.
I really don't know much about his origin other than, you know, he was blinded as a kid and got, you know, super, not powers per se, but like his height, or his height, his hearing and tasting, his other senses like quadrupled because of it, and he was, you know, learned, you know, martial arts and stuff and blah blah
Stick.
blah.
Which two episodes prior, I was like, are they gonna fucking show how he learned from Stick? And then the whole episode, I get to the sixth episode and it's called Stick. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah, I remember seeing you tweet something about like, guess we're not, or, well, I don't know if it was something like, guess we won't get anything, a backstory on Stick or anything like that, but like it was something you tweeted something along those lines,
And
where
then you
I
responded where you're like, what, you want like his childhood? And I'm like, wait a minute.
yeah, because I was kind of confused on what you meant, because that's when I thought, I was like, how far are you? Because by then I was like,
responded.
yeah, because by then I was like 10 fucking episodes in.
Now, have you finished it?
Yeah, I'm completely done with it.
Okay, I haven't. I've got like 3 episodes to go. But
Okay.
I just want to make sure the continuity for the comics is sticking here. Does he get his suit made by the guy that makes Kingpin suits?
Yes.
Okay. Because Kingpin's got special like armor suits.
Yep. Yeah, and that's wait, well, what episode are you on?
10? 9? 9. Like from the comic, he gets into a battle with Kingpin, gets his ass whipped, and realizes, fuck, I need what he has for his suits. Like, he learns that Kingpin has a special fabric.
Yeah, that happens. I gotta assume the way you're talking that you haven't seen the episode that happens in. So I won't say anything about it, but yes, that's.
I left off when he was getting his ass whipped by a red ninja at the beginning.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there you go. You have seen it. Because it's that episode after he defeats Red Ninja, Kingpin steps in and starts beating the shit out of Daredevil because Daredevil's just cut open all over the place, so he's wounded badly, and
Okay,
then
I stopped right when he was in the middle of the fight with the red ninja because I had to go to work.
oh,
He was getting his ass whipped, and I'm like, it was right at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Forget everything I just said then.
Well, I already know how he gets his suit and shit. I know Kingpin whips his ass, and
I don't know much about his the origin,
stuff.
yeah, of his origin. Like I said, I just know, about him, being blinded and how he got blinded and blah blah blah.
well, his dad, the part that confused me was they had, like, his dad's boxer nickname. They did that right in the Ben Affleck movie. It was his nickname was the Devil in the Ring.
Yeah.
But they had him like Jack something Murdoch, Jack the Clubber Murdoch or something.
Yeah, it was like Jack Beaton.
Clubbing Busey Murdoch.
Something, yeah, it was something weird.
Like, that
I wasn't, yeah, like when I heard that, I was like, because I don't know what is, legit, but I was like, I remember the movie having it as Jack the Devil Murdoch was better.
Yeah, Jack the Devil Murdoch. Yeah, I was shocked that they're jumping this far into the whole Kingpin thing right away.
Really? Because I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't show up until like the third episode.
Well, they're kind of developing the Kingpin stuff pretty quickly. I thought that was going to be like a season 2 or season 3 thing, like him and Kingpin.
Whoa.
I mean, the costume stuff ruined it for me because I'm like, well, obviously, if he gets his costume, I know he's going to fight Kingpin, but.
Well, I mean, the whole season is about going up against Kingpin in one form or another.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like some lower level gang, like the Owlman or whatever the fuck the guy's name is.
I don't know about that.
The Owl, I think.
I'm I'm not sure who that is, but the name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be like about that, and Kingpin was kind of still in the shadows, and
I mean,
knew about him, but not too much.
He doesn't even show up until like the third episode, and even then, he stays out of the public eye until like I want to say like the
Until
fifth.
He fucks that reporter over.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
I'm like, man, that's great.
But I mean, I think that was like the fifth or sixth episode. I mean, compared to the comic books, I don't know how. I mean, like, I didn't know that they were keeping so close with how he got the, who made the red suit and how he learned about the red suit and Kingpin having armor. I didn't know all of that was like actually comic book related.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they did a great job with parsing everything out over the episodes.
Now, is it just me, or does this not seem like it's as gritty as they said it was going to be? It's still rated TV MA, but it doesn't seem like anything different than it's on TV.
I feel like it's pretty gritty.
This just seems like something that could be on like FX or like Sons of Anarchy was fucking worse than this.
See, I mean, I can't really compare it to anything like that. Like, even because like I wrote a review for it for my website, and I mean, I compared it to The Flash and the Arrow because those were, adult-oriented comic book TV shows, and like I said in there, like.
Well, compared to the CW programming, yeah.
Well, I mean,
like people getting decapitated and shit and getting smashed indoors.
Right. I mean, there's blood splattering all over the place. Like, there's a point where the dude is washing off, which is obviously brains off of a fucking car, and chucks his skin and stuff. I mean, I would say it has.
Boob.
What's that?
I thought we were gonna see more than one boob. Saw Rosario Dawson's boob, but she shows those things off all the time.
Oh man, I love her.
Gosh, she's so hot.
Oh man, she's the perfect woman. Let's just think about her for the rest of the time.
So you've seen the whole thing. Is it what you expected? Better?
It's great. I fucking loved it.
Now here's the shitty part. Now that we're powering through all these episodes, we're gonna have to wait like a whole another year for season 2.
That's possibly true, most likely true. I mean, but we do have. This is only one of I think 3 series that they're doing. They're doing a Luke Cage, an Iron Fist one, and I believe another one also.
Yeah, about that detective girl that used to be a superhero. I forgot what it was.
I don't know who that is. But I mean, so hopefully those will, at least one of those will come out later this year or something.
And how I fucking Marvel is just perfect with the casting.
Yeah, they
There's
are.
not a person in this show that I'm like,
Yeah,
the dude that plays, never heard of him. He's fucking good.
He was on Boardwalk Empire.
Was he?
Yep. That's the only place that I know him from.
Only part that bothers me is I keep watching it going, him next to Tony Stark, they kind of look almost like each other. He's got that Robert Downey Jr. look to him. A little younger.
Maybe if he tried to, like, I mean, the way he combs his hair and stuff, and this, and the very kind of like nerdy, you know, look at me, I'm clean kind of way.
He doesn't know why he's combing his hair.
But I mean, he's not frosting it or anything, or fucking putting a bunch of mousse in it, like, you know, clearly Tony Stark does.
Yeah, moose and bastard. One thing I think they could have made people fucking jizz their pants over Daredevil is in the comic books, Daredevil and Spider-Man are like huge friends.
Yeah.
If there just would have been like, even if it was just like a teaser of Spider-Man like doing something in the Daredevil show. Oh, that would have been bonerific.
I mean, that's something that might happen in another season or something. I mean, they did plan this out, like, not only for this season, but for the long term, the long term. You know what I mean? Because, like, I remember reading a Q&A thing a couple months back about Bullseye. And they were saying how, like...
Kingpin hires him.
Yeah, they were saying how, like, they don't want to go too much too fast.
Yeah. I mean, you really haven't got a lot of super bad enemies, like known bad guy enemies in Daredevil yet, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone outside of Bullseye or Kingpin. I know that there's more.
I still think all this is build up for the Civil War so they can have more people on separate sides.
I mean, they eventually have to bring Daredevil into it, seeing that they make it very clear that this is the Marvel universe from the movies. Like, this is all part about it. I mean,
they talked about the incident.
Yeah, it's, you know, that is like a backdrop to everything that's going on. You know, like, you got this city that's trying to rebuild itself. You got Kingpin trying to use that as this opportunity to take it over, and then you even have Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law, being able to get a building super cheap because of it.
Is it me, or when they were talking about the building being super cheap because of the incident, I'm like, are they talking about the Marvel incident or 9/11? I was like, those are kind of similar, I guess.
That would have been awesome. That would have been great.
I could see all these people showing up eventually. And after all these TV shows being so good, I would just prefer, like, instead of making a new Spider-Man movie, make a Spider-Man TV show.
Have you ever watched the old Spider-Man TV show?
The cartoon, yeah.
No. I'm talking about the live action one. Where Spider-Man shot rope out.
But the old Flash was fucking horrible too.
No, I know, but I'm just.
I mean, they're hitting it out of the park with all the superhero TV shows, I think.
I mean, well, you like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, that's gotten so fucking good.
I've watched the first 3 episodes and I fucking hated it. So
that first season was shit. It's good as fuck now.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. I have no interest in watching it.
It just seems like Batman's left out of all the DC stuff now. It's like nobody gives a fuck about Batman.
I've noticed, like, within the last week, people have been commenting, like, I gotta assume that these are people that don't know Daredevil. I mean, at least maybe have heard of him, but not to this extent of knowing his backstory of who he is or anything like that. But, like, I've seen a lot of people talk about how he is similar to Batman. Like, I mean, I think he is, but it is kind of like, I just feel like the way people are talking about it is like, say, this guy seems like Batman.
Ugh.
And it's like, he is. Like, there's one person that, I mean, the way he said it, he clearly didn't know. But he was like, like, basically, he's like, is he like kind of like Batman in a way, or something like that? And I said, yeah, they share similarities.
Yeah.
But I mean,
detectives.
I mean, I would say the main things that separate them is one of them is, a lawyer that's struggling, at least at his origin, and the other one's just a fucking rich dude. But I mean, outside of that, they're both fucking have no one really except for their close friends, and they both are just out. They're both just regular guys for the most part. I mean,
Yeah,
I have a hard time calling Daredevil just a regular guy, but at the same time, I don't want to call him a superhero either because he doesn't, he doesn't fly through the air or anything like that. He just has heightened senses.
well, kind of like this is a stretch, but kind of like Iron Man. He's just a really smart dude that built a machine that flies him around. He doesn't
Right.
have powers himself.
Right.
Except for the fucking heart that